Hey, welcome back to my channel. We're here to not brag. I just want to let everyone know that I'm not bragging in any way, shape, or form. I just know how helpful and useful these videos were to me when I was going through the college application process. So, if you don't like these type of videos, or if you feel like you're going to regret clicking, then just click out now. Saves us both the energy, so just click out now if you don't want to watch this video. I'm just going to read out from my resume what I can find and what I have. I looked on the SIS system, which is the website that my county uses. The SIS system is basically just where you view your grades and where your teachers upload your grades. But turns out my account doesn't work anymore since I graduated. So we're just gonna roll the punches and I'll show you what I can. Okay, so we're gonna start with my grades from high school. Okay, I'm looking at my resume right now. So I know that I took 11 AP classes, 3 ACE classes, and 10 honors classes. ACE, it's AICE. Couldn't tell you what it stands for. It's like Assessment International something something, I don't know. It's basically Cambridge version of AP. It's a British Cambridge system, and they're trying to introduce them more and more to our school system. If I had to give an overall opinion of every AP weighted against every ACE class, I would personally say that ACE classes are much easier. However, my county physically weighs APs and ACE classes in the same weight category. You get an A in my county in an ACE or an AP class, you get 6. You get 6 points for your HPA, so that really is like a hefty amount. Honestly, I don't remember the exact scale that my school uses. It's really hard to remember, but I think it's for AP or ACE classes, if you get an A, it's 6. If you get a B, it's 5, and I don't really know the rest. Maybe a B is 4. No, a B is 5. It's really hard to remember. I think an A in honors counts as 4.5, and then an A in regular counts as 4. So, and we measure HPA and GPA separately. So GPA is your grade point average, and HPA is your honors point average. At least in my county, in my school, that's how it worked. I know that not everyone does class ranks, but we do class ranks, and out of 517 students, I was ranked 44. While I was in the top 10%, I certainly was not in the top 5%. I want you to know that your dream school is very achievable, more than you might think is possible. And I mean, I was in the top 8 or 9% of my class, which is not stellar. It's pretty good, but it's not outstanding. And so I want you to know that your dream school is well within your reach. Probably. Probably. Those 11 AP classes, I'll just run through them right now, starting from my freshman year. My school did offer AP classes for freshmen, starting freshman year, and they do now offer ACE classes for freshmen as well. Freshman year, I remember I took AP Human Geography. That was my only AP class that year, and I got a 4 on that exam. apscores.org. Sophomore year, I took World History and European History, and I got 4s on both of those. And I remember that the reason I took those in conjunction with each other is because the same teacher taught both of those classes, and she highly recommended that we take them hand in hand because a lot of European history overlaps with World History just because of the nature of the classes. I definitely recommend doing that if you know that your school has a really good history department. This teacher was known for teaching world history, and she was really good at European history too, so I completely trusted her guidance, and so I went ahead and took both of those, and I don't regret it. My junior year, I took AP English Language and Composition, also known as AP Lang, AP Calculus AB, horrific, actually horrific, and I took Art History. So in Lang, AP Lang, I got a 5. In AP Calc, I got a 2, which is actually better than I was expecting. I was expecting a 1, so go me. AP Art History, I got a 5. My senior year, this past school year, I took United States Government and Politics, also known as AP Gov. I took Statistics, also known as AP Stats. I took Microeconomics, also known as AP Micro, Environmental Science, also known as Enviro, and I took AP English Literature and Composition, also known as AP Lit, and now I'll run through those scores. On AP United States Government and Politics, I got a 5. On AP Statistics, I got a 3. On AP Microeconomics, I got a 3. On AP Environmental Science, I got a 4. And on English Literature and Composition, I got a 5. Now, I just want to remind you that these scores had no weight whatsoever in my decision to go to the school I'm going to. When I handed in my application for Barnard College, they did not see these scores. These scores did not exist yet. So really all they were seeing of my APs up until the point in which I applied, all they were seeing was my 4 in Human, my 4 in World, my 4 in European, my 5 in English, Language and Composition, my 2 in AP Calculus, yes, I sent them a 2, and my 5 in AP Art History. So with those scores, they admitted me along with my essays and all my other extracurriculars. Of course, it is a holistic system, at least with Barnard, I know it is. A lot of other private schools and public schools also have a holistic system approach. I will say that more public schools than private schools have a holistic approach. And that is just because of the volume of applications that private schools get, especially more elite private schools or schools that are harder to get into. They just don't have nearly the amount of applications coming in compared to a common public school that is more easily accessible to more students, if that makes sense. Now I'll just run through the ACE classes that I remember taking. I don't really remember a ton of them, which is kind of bad, sorry. But I'll just go through what I do remember. Freshman year, I did not take any ACE classes. They didn't start that curriculum at my school until my sophomore year. Sophomore year, I took ACE General Paper, which is just like a writing class, and I think I got yes, I did get an A on that exam. I took ACE Math 1, which I got a U. A U means ungradable. Like, we're not rocking in the math department. Let's just keep it at that. Math is scary. It's fine, everything's fine. It literally came up as like a U when I checked the score. So AP Calc, I got a 2. ACE Math, the year before that, I got a U. My junior year of high school, I took ACE Marine Science and I got a C on that, which is pretty good. So by the way, if you don't know, Cambridge ACE classes are graded, or the exam rather, is graded A through E or U, I guess. If you have an unscorable, then yes, you get a U. But A through E, and E counts as passing. A is obviously the highest, and there's B, C, D, and E, and then there is ungradable. That is that for my AP and ACE classes and exams. As far as the actual class grades, honestly, I don't know. I'll just try to explain that throughout all of high school, I got A's and B's in AP, ACE, and honors classes, and then every regular class I've ever taken, which I think has just been student government all 4 years, and then art my freshman year. I definitely got all A's in all of those regular classes. But my B, I think I got 1 B in an honors class. It was honors chemistry. It was really tough, but that was also a tough year for me. I was super distracted, I remember, and so I got a B in honors chemistry. The other B's I've gotten have been, I don't really know if it was by semester or per the year, but I know I have definitely gotten either a B in the semester or the year for, I think, AP Calc. Oh, definitely AP Calc. I remember being on the brink of a C in AP Calculus, so yeah. We pulled through for that one. I also got B's in World History, European History, but like in conjunction with A's. So those I think were just semester grades of B's, not whole class grades of B's. Honestly, it's really hard to remember without my transcript, and I don't have access to my transcript, I'm sorry. Just know that my rank out of 517, again, was 44, and I'll tell you my GPA and HPA at this time. My GPA, which is, remember, it's unweighted, so that means that even if you take an AP or an honors class, they don't count for more than 4.0 for an A, so they count the same as a regular class. So my GPA is a 3.8 out of a 4.0, and then my HPA, which is counting the weights of the honors and AP credits, is a 4.7. I know people in my grade who have perfect 4.0s and they have 5.1s in their HPA. So by no means were my GPA or HPAs perfect, but they were what I could do throughout my 4 years. You know, high school's a scary place. So I think throughout my 4 years, I had things that I had to overcome. I had other obligations. I had extracurriculars to worry about. I had social life to worry about. I was definitely not going to focus so much on my schoolwork at the expense of social opportunities. I think I found a good balance, except for my junior year. My junior year, there was no balance. Balance was not in my vocabulary at that time, and honestly, my mental health suffered for it. So I recommend just trying to find a balance, as hard as that is for so many people, and including myself. I think it's just so important to really make an effort to try and find a balance in your workload between social life, maybe romance life, family life, friendship life, and of course, your schoolwork. Now I will go into my standardized testing that helps me get into Barnard College. Now, I will say that I really, really wanted to go to Dartmouth College. I remember like yearning so much to be able to apply to Dartmouth and hopefully go to Dartmouth, and I really was going to apply early decision. It was my dream school of all dream schools. But Dartmouth College, along with a lot of the other Ivy schools, either recommend, require, or encourage you to submit successful SAT subject tests. Now, SAT subject tests are kind of like one section of the SAT, but instead of your normal math, reading, writing, like that kind of thing, it's specific subjects. So the subject test scores that I took personally were Math 2, because I was told that I was capable to take that, and I also took World History. I took the World History subject test right after I took the World History AP exam. Oh no, I have to sneeze. Oh my god, I think I just peed my pants. I need some water. This is exhausting. Oh my god, I hope YouTube is quaking at my under eye circles right now. They're pretty, they're pretty prominent. My bags, what's the saying? It's like, at least my bags are Chanel. Do people even say that? Okay, so I have my scores up right now. So first I'll talk about the World History SAT subject test. I took this June 3rd, 2017, which was 10th grade for me. And remember, the AP exam was almost a month before that. This score is out of 800, and I got a 650 on that test. That was World History. Then I took Math Level 2 my junior year. So it was the end of my junior year. I took it on May 5th, 2018, which is actually my birthday. Recommendations for taking tests on your birthday would be nada. Please don't do it. It was so distracting and I had to get up early. Like, it was just not the move. I don't know what I was thinking, honestly, but don't take standardized tests on your birthday. Unless you absolutely have to. But that's like please save it for a last minute resort. Do not take tests on your birthday. Really try not to. So I took this on May 5th, 2018, Math Level 2. Remember, I am not a math person at all. Oh, and my preparation for both of these tests was just my prior knowledge. So I did not get a book, did not study at all. Probably should have studied, but I didn't. So I got a 580 on that subject test. The scores that these colleges are looking for on subject tests are going to be in the 700 plus range. Honestly, a perfect score is like the best because so many people have perfect scores. If you're even going to submit a subject test, it should be 700 or above. At least that's what I was told. Needless to say, I did not submit my 650 or 580 to any school whatsoever.
Therefore, Dartmouth was stripped from my dreams.
But it's fine. Honestly, like, I'm really, really glad I ended up at Barnard. And I mean, we'll see if I say that after this year of school. But I'm really glad I submitted my application to Barnard and everything worked out the way it did, because I truly feel like I found a home for me. So now I'm going to talk about my other standardized testing that most people have heard of or are familiar with. So what happened was, I think it was Hurricane Irma, if I'm remembering correctly. Wait, let me look this up. Yeah, so it was Hurricane Irma. We were having Hurricane Irma going on. I was supposed to go to this testing facility, and so I was supposed to go there and take a mock ACT and a mock SAT to see which one I liked better. Before the hurricane came, I was scheduled to take my ACT mock test. The week that the hurricane arrived was the weekend that I was supposed to take my mock SAT. So whatever, I went ahead and took the mock ACT. And I think I got a 27 my first time out. They wanted me to do it cold turkey, no prior training, no studying, no anything. And I got a 27 cold turkey. I remember them telling me like, it's a really great starting place. Like, we think you should go ahead with the ACT. We think it's your test. We think you're capable. So I trusted them and I was like, whatever, like, you know, after the storm had passed, I was like, maybe it's a sign. I'm so quick to believe in signs. So I was like, you know what? The hurricane came when I was supposed to take my mock SAT. It's a sign. I don't need to care about the SAT. I'll just go ahead and study and get tutored for the ACT. So I know that I'm extremely blessed and fortunate to have had the resources to take private tutoring lessons and to take so many practice tests. I feel so blessed to have had that because I know it was a huge help for me, which is why I'm so glad that the SAT is starting to administer adversity scores for everyone taking it. It won't affect your normal score. It will be an additional separate score that colleges will see, and it assesses the adversity of your area. I don't know how accurate those adversity scores will actually be because I know that there are pockets of wealth within like areas that are not so wealthy, and I know that there are pockets of not so wealthiness in areas that are extremely wealthy. So I don't know that these scores will be accurate, but I'm hoping that it will give some clarity to colleges as to how much more students had to struggle or how much less students had to struggle to get and attain certain scores. After Irma came and went, I started tutoring for the ACT. Oh, this should take so long. Oh my god. Okay. See through the bullshit. So I took the ACT twice, and this was with a bunch of tutoring in between each time I took it. So I took my first ACT in October of 2017. My composite score was a 30, so I got a 34 in English, a 26 in math, a 32 in reading, and a 26 in science. As far as the writing component, it's out of 12, I believe, and I got a 9 out of 12. That was my score for the October ACT in 2017. And now I'm going to tell you my ACT score that I took in December of 2017. So my composite score was a 29. I got a 35 on English, a 25 on math, a 30 on reading, and a 27 on science. So I improved in English and science, and I actually got worse in math and reading. Ew. The writing portion, I got a 9 again. So I tried to figure out in my head with both composite scores, was there any combination of taking scores from both exams to combine and make a better overall score? The answer is no. It wouldn't improve my overall score if I did super score my ACT. So I took some time off from standardized testing and I said, okay, worst comes to worst, I'll just submit my 30. Later in the year, I decided that I wanted to start tutoring and studying for the SAT. Eventually, I did take this SAT on March 7th of 2018. My county is really cognizant of the fact that not every student in 11th grade in our county is able to financially support taking the SAT or the ACT. So what they do is they provide a free SAT for every junior year student once a year for all the junior class to take together. That in-school SAT with essay, they pay for the one with the essay, was the only official SAT I have ever taken. The SAT writing portion is really similar to AP Lang's exam. So if you took AP Language and Composition and you took the exam and did well on the exam, you should not fear the essay section in the SAT. It's very similar. So on the essay section of this SAT, each section within the essay is out of 8 points, and there are 3 sections. So altogether, you can score a total of 24 points. On the reading portion, I got an 8 out of 8. On the analysis portion, I got a 7 out of 8. And on the writing portion, I got an 8 out of 8. So overall, I got a 23 out of 24 on the essay section of this SAT. I received a 1420 out of 1600. There are two 800-point sections that add up to equal 1600, and I got a 1420 overall. On my reading and writing score, I got a 730, and on my math score, I got a 690. I was really happy with these results. Of course, the ACT is out of 36, and the SAT is out of 1600, so they're not exactly comparable. There are charts that do compare them. I looked it up after I received the score, and I found a chart that was comparing the two. And my 1420 in most charts, not all, but in most charts that I have found, my 1420 on the SAT was better than my 30 on the ACT. I had also researched a lot and discovered that apparently Southern schools prefer the ACT while Northern schools prefer the SAT. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to this. I really don't know if these were credible sources from which I was reading this information, but I do know that it did influence me a little bit just because, I don't know, I believe the internet sometimes, okay? So those were all of the scores and grades that helped get me into Barnard College of Columbia University. Now I know there are some discrepancies. People will say, well, you don't actually go to Columbia, but the fact is that Barnard is an undergraduate school of Columbia University. I understand that the application process is different, and really all that separates the two schools are the application process and the endowment. They have different legal and financial services. They're completely different and separated in that way. Yes, in those ways, legally and financially, the two schools are distinct. However, I can take classes at Columbia if I wanted to, certain classes. I can house at Columbia through a special process of application. I can eat at Columbia's dining halls. I can participate in their sororities if I want to. I can participate in any clubs, and it's vice versa. So they can participate in any clubs at Barnard. They can take classes at Barnard, certain ones, of course, not all of the classes. So there is a really good affiliation, and I think there's a good exchange back and forth of both campuses. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them down below. Comment any ideas you have for me or any curiosities you might be feeling. Feel free. I'm super open, not judgmental, so if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. Additionally, I don't have social media. I know that a lot of influencers, a lot of YouTubers have and advertise their social media, but I am on a social media cleanse. Really, it's more than a cleanse. I just don't use them. I disabled my Instagrams and I deleted Snapchat as a whole. So yeah, I'm liberated. I'm free. I don't need to go on social media. It feels great. I highly recommend. But anyway, that's why you can't find me on socials. Yeah, but you can always contact me through YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insight as to how difficult or easy it is to get into Barnard College. Maybe this helped you. I know these videos used to help me a ton. Subscribe, put the post notifications on, comment down below, give it a thumbs up. All right, bye. Oh, those cheekbones though. Okay, bye.